going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy, Awakened Toast here, and today, welcome to a brand new VR game on the channel known as Metal Hellsinger VR. And I want to make a huge thank you out to the studio over there for going ahead and sponsoring today's video. Regardless of whether this video is going to be sponsored or not, I was going to buy this game just to play it. And let me tell you, it is incredible. So without further ado, let's go and step in this portal and see what is on the other side. Hey, what's going on, guys? Post-editing Brandon here. Today, I'm actually going to be doing more of a voiceover style compared to the actual in-gameplay live commentary. And you may be asking, why exactly am I deciding to do this? Well, let me tell you. When you're in the zone, like trying to sync up everything with like the music to beat and just going against all the enemies, this stuff gets overwhelming to keep track of. And honestly, I just want to experience the game in the fullest form. And I was having an absolute blast. It's weird, but it's almost like a Doom version of Beat Saber, where you're just mauling a bunch of enemies, and lining it up on the beat is incredibly satisfying to play. I don't even care that this video is sponsored, man. Like, I'm just gonna be straight up honest. This game is badass as f, dude. Like, you're going around, like, zipping around. The movement tech is so fun. Like, you can go and basically double jump and, like, dash as, like, while you're doing it, too. And there's just so much to freaking do in the game, and I've only been using the bow. But don't get me wrong, I love bows in VR games. There's just something about like the way that they feel. It just adds to that satisfying factor. And then when you add this in with lining this up on music beats and destroying all these demons and all this other stuff inside of this world, man, it is just freaking cool. And not to mention, like, the enemy types are super fun. The environments look really freaking good. For a VR title, I was generally impressed with how well the game looked. And I've only gone through the first, like, main level, which is kind of crazy to believe. I just sat here and kept regrinding and regrinding and regrinding, trying to get higher scores each time that I went throughout this level. And it's been a super, super fun time. Like, it's been a pretty big minute since the last time I've gone and just like sat and grinded a game for high scores. I think the last one that I did that with was like maybe Fruit Ninja 2. But other than that, it's majorly just been like me playing some games on the side and not really, you know, pushing for anything. It's just been kind of more of a casual experience. But this game both brings out a casual but also a competitive side if you really like to go for like high score and leaderboard chasing. And man, is it just freaking rewarding. Like when you line up like the big gyms and you blow those things up on the beat, it's so cool, man. Like, I don't know why more games haven't even like considered diving into like this realm of virtual reality. Like, the environment looks great, the enemies are fun, it doesn't seem to really get old, and honestly, this would be a really good game to showcase to like people that are looking to get into VR for like the first time, as long as they don't get motion sick. Because, oh my god, does this game just let you go crazy. I found like a really cool movement tech where if you dash and jump in the same time, you almost like propel yourself through the map. And when you line that up on beat and you're like bouncing in the air and dashing, man, it is so freaking cool. And like, another really cool factor is like, it's not just one base enemy type. You're also versing like mini bosses and like mid bosses, and then, I mean, even at the end of this, I don't want to spoil it, but there's just so much crap going on, and it's really freaking cool. Like, even without music, this game would have been freaking rad. Like, no joke, like, you could just been playing this and versing the enemies, and it would have been cool. But then you add this on the fact of like having it lining up with music. It's just like this heavy metal like jam session going on while you're just slaying out all these demons, man. It's really cool. It's very reminiscent of you know, just like zombie shooters and stuff like that, where, you know, you're just fighting off waves of the undead and you're like the sole survivor, right? But it would be really cool to eventually see something where you can maybe do like multiplayer with this and like be slaying with your friends on beat as well, like lining up like combo attacks and doing whatever, which I don't know if that's even in the realm of possibility with this game, but I consider it when I'm thinking about it, because like I could sit here for hours just like having a jam session with friends and just playing the game. Like, even though that this video is maybe like 8 to 10 minutes long, because I'm guessing that's probably about the length of this level, I was in the headset for about 2 hours just playing, man. Like, it's one of the weirdest things, but usually when it comes down to sponsored content, I usually hop in, do my recording, and I'm off, right? Like, I'm ready to just go and, you know, call it a day. Like, you know, we got the video done, whatever else, and I enjoyed the game. But this one, is surprisingly really, really addicting to nature, which is awesome. I need a game like this on the side where, like, even if I'm not covering a ton of YouTube content on it, it will be a fun game to just play on the side and enjoy. Like, I feel like so many VR games, they don't really incorporate, you know, things that are, I guess, expansive in a way. You know what I mean? Like, they usually play it safe because they don't want to get their audience motion sick, which I can completely understand. It makes sense to cater to that audience because there's not a lot of people out there that can be doing the movement that I can and, you know, what other players can in the VR, you know, experience. But in this game, man, the fact that it allows you to go and, like, dash around and just have a crazy amount of combat is so freaking cool. And I love the way that they segmented the levels. Like, it's almost like a wave procedural thing where, like, you have to clear out all the enemies before you can proceed through the level. And it's just, it makes sense, which is really weird because you have to line it up with the music, but it's a wave procedural, but it works. And I don't know how they did it, and I assume that this was actually from the flat screen version of the game that they basically VRified in a way and made it for a VR game, and it is so incredible. And also, I'm watching the gameplay as I'm going and yapping about this. This stuff is so freaking cool. I wish more VR games did VR cinematics, whether or not it's in third person, first person, whatever. Cinematics are freaking sick. Add them in. They are so cool. It adds so much atmosphere to the level. And like you guys saw there, this is an introduction to the final boss fight in this first level. It is so cool, man. This thing is just like slinging out a bunch of ball things, spawning in enemies. It's got the big old, you know, boss health bar that you can go and stare at and just like keep track of like what damage you're actually doing. And man, you're doing this all to the beat of the music while you're moving across the map like a freaking superhero, dude. It's just, it's so cool. Like, I don't think I've ever had a moment where I've done another sponsor where I've been just like, this game is actually so cool and I want to like fully promote the shit out of this. Because it is a really cool game. And I'm not even making an understatement of it. Maybe it's just like the honeymoon phase of me just really enjoying it. But from what I've seen, the environment, the enemies, the attacks, and I mean, even just the weapons, man. Like, I've only really used the bow and maybe like the machine gun in the game, but I haven't really used anything else, and there's probably about 8 to 10 different weapons. And I'm just really excited to go and have a chance to try those out as well. But personally, I've always been a huge bow fan, so likely I'm going to always cater towards this just because it's really fun to use, and also they did it really well in the game, which is quite surprising. But like you guys could tell there, this is probably like my 10th run through of the map, so I just speed ran through that boss fight and got her done. But ladies and gentlemen, before we go and end this video, I want to showcase this. We managed to go and grind out and get our score almost to 8 million on this, right? And when I was first doing it, I think my high score was at like 4 million, and I managed to increase it by 3 on that. But on this 10th run, that managed to go and put us in number 2 in the world. Whoever the first person is on this leaderboard, man, you must have hit everything on the beat, and I wonder what weapons you used, because this was a crazy run, man, and I think I can even get it better. So maybe one day I'll be able to break 10 mil. We'll just have to see. But ladies and gentlemen, that is going to make it for this video here on Metal Hellsinger VR. If you want to go and try out the game yourself, I'll be leaving a link down in the description below. This game is actually on the PlayStation VR, PC VR, and also MetaQuest. So all the links will be included down in the description below. Feel free to go and check it out. And man, if you're a music/rhythm head, you are going to love this game if you enjoy the gore aspect and then mixing that with rhythm. It is just so... I'm going to say it a bunch of times, but it's so freaking cool. Other than that, guys, that's going to be it from me. Hope you enjoyed the video. And as always, keep dosing, my friends. Laters.
I got some shells for you, boy!
Oh, it's in his eye! Oh, I fixed it! I would have died!
Well, right here.
Armageddon! Yeah!
Why in the heck do you not have clothes?
You took my banana, and now you must suffer the consequences!